And welcome everyone. It's 5:57 in Panama, and somebody told me it's 6:57 in Venezuela. We have people from Venezuela. They are so welcome to be here. I'm so happy that they got somehow the information and they are here to learn. And probably, who knows, later on we can share experiences on how we are applying and using AI in our classes. So it's hopefully people join. So let me start with the organizations that are sponsoring this presentation. Of course, the Regional English Language Office, based in Panama, and the 365 initiative that is in charge of several exchanges programs sponsored by the State Department. And I'm part also, most of the people who are here are part of the Panama TESOL uh, organization, because we believe that teachers grow when they share together. That's certainly something that we share. And this is me, Eva Ramos. I have more than 30 years of experience, and out of those 30 years of experience, I have been training people for more than 25 years. Of course, teaching online is a different experience, but I'm glad that you are here. I'm sorry that we have to mute you and disable your cameras, but right now I only have 29 participants, but 262 participants registered. So due to that, when you have this amount of participants, and video can take a lot from your computer resources. That's why cameras were disabled, and then keeping track of people opening their mics, uh, if they are 200 people, is kind of hard. So my apologies that this is very like webinar style, no cameras, no microphone, but hopefully in the future we will have like more private, intimate workshop, hands-on experience with the use of AI. But everybody's welcome. We already have a chat going on, and I was asking, where are you connecting from? So type it in the chat. We will be reading you. And also, I have given you the option to react. So you can add your reactions, thumbs up, thumbs down, hearts, and everything. That's something that at least we can do. But of course, there will be chance to interact through the chat. And I'm glad that I have Vanessa Quintero and Loribel Moreno. They are part of the AI Dream Team from Panama. And they are here as participants, but also I asked for help, because when you are expecting 262 people, even if 200 show up, that's not an easy task. But anyway, I think this is amazing that on a Friday evening everybody's here. So it's 6 p.m. Thank you to the 35 people that are here. We were discussing what was our level of comfort when it comes to the use of AI, and of course, or technology in general. So why did I entitle this presentation 5 AI tools? They could be 10, but I only had 2 hours. And actually, webinars, uh, even with 1 hour and an hour and 30 minutes, it's like people are like, okay, okay, enough. Because I want to do some practice. It's kind of hard to have like a long list. And if you ask me in the future, we may, if you want to join us in this adventure, we may continue exploring tools, different tools at a time, because there are tools are plenty out there, and they are all wonderful for teachers. So thanks for being here. And let me, Wi-Fi, I told you Wi-Fi is like top 5, but it was really hard for me to select these 5 tools. Very hard. Let me tell you, I was like, which one would be number 5? And then I decided, you will see. Let me go over my presentation. So what is the agenda for this session? I'm recording, and then you will also receive access to this recording. Hopefully, let's see if we can do that as most of the formal companies and organizations. So this is my agenda. Of course, before discussing uh, the 5 tools that you already see in my screen, we need to think about some considerations when you use AI. Things that we have to keep in mind, uh, because probably most of us, when we started using AI, we just give it a try, and it was something that people were talking about on social media, or a friend of mine told me, and actually I started to use ChatGPT for no reason, and suddenly I found out that it could do many things. But we didn't receive any training regarding the use of AI. An important consideration is that we need to remember and we need to keep in mind that AI is not here to replace us. At least teachers, we are good, guys. We are good because they need us. Uh, and one important thing about AI is that it's here to expand what we can do and to save a lot of time. I really believe so. So my goal today, and hopefully when this experience finishes, I forgot to actually ask for a survey, but we can do the survey in the chat at the end. Is to show you some practical ways that we can use AI, not only responsibly, strategically, because you don't want to spend a lot of time thinking about things, especially when you are selecting tools and choosing the right tools for your classes, and how to do things professionally, because AI can do so many things. So those are the considerations. What are my 5 tools? These are my 5 tools. Of course, ChatGPT. How cannot ChatGPT start this conversation? Because OpenAI started everything. When artificial intelligence is not something new. When we discuss in webinars, and we learn about we see artificial intelligence as something new, but artificial intelligence was something from the 1960s. Every time a kind of a machine was created to generate a task by itself, that was kind of, especially in engineering, that was artificial intelligence. What we know OpenAI did through ChatGPT was to creating what we call now generative AI. Is the capability of that machine to use the information that has been fed to it to generate new things. That's the mind blowing thing that started in back in October 2022, and that's, of course, ChatGPT have to be my first tool. Then my second favorite. I don't know if I'm doing that in order, but it could be. But sometimes they are tied. I also like a lot to use Google Gemini. So you can also react. Let me know if you use also Google Gemini. You share about use one or the other. And for those people who have educational or institutionalized accounts, definitely Canva is a blessing, because as people from Canva were saying in the conference that they had last year, Canva for education will be free forever. That's what they said. Hopefully they keep their word. And my fourth tool that is it in itself is a lot, but I needed to have it here because it's one of my favorites, Magic School. And one that is for fun, Suno. I use Suno a lot. Probably it has to do with the fact that I learned English through songs. I come from a musical family. My grandfather was a musician, and in my family we have like people who belong to a choir. We have 5 music teachers. I don't play any instrument, but I love music. So my way to learn English was through music. So that's why music is part of who I am as a teacher. So let me. This is our roadmap. Hopefully, Uh, I'm reading your chats here, and let us know where you connected from. We're in the word Panama Centro. People from Colón, welcome Corina. Alberto, thank you for being here. Hello, Javier from Chiriquí. Darielis from Panama City. We have people from Chiriquí. I think Yarielis Garcia was in charge of putting this into all her groups. Thank you, Yarielis. So that's why people and then we have Luz. Hello, Luz. Great to have you. People from Santiago, from Cocle. Excellent. So this is my 5 top tools. I don't know. Uh, Supposedly you can react. You can give me a thumbs up. I don't know if you agree. Let's see. Let's start this uh, journey. And if some of them are already your favorites, okay, probably some tips that I will bring can be new. Or probably who knows? You say, oh, there's something that I'm already doing, but I don't know. I didn't look at this way. So great, great. Hello, Rosa. I haven't seen you for a while. So I have some people that I know and they are here, but we haven't seen each other for a long time. So thanks for being here. And these are my 5 top tools. Do they have to become your top tools? I don't know. You have to decide. And that's something that I tell my students at the program we teach, is that you have to decide what works for you. Uh, Here is like going sampling at the supermarket, at the market, and then all your favorite fruits are out there. You have to decide what works for you and for your students, what works for your teaching style, also for your mental processes. You don't want something that will stress you because you don't understand how the tool works. You need something that will make your job easier, more effective, and it will save you lots of time. That's my that's my motto. So let's see, uh, and let's see how this journey goes. But before that, uh, I have a question for you. Of course, we have this buzzword AI. Hello, Pamela. Great to have you. And hello, Ludmila. I'm so glad that some people from Venezuela got this information. Awesome. Great to have all Venezuelans. I love Venezuela. You need to invite me. I have some friends from Maracaibo, and it's great to have you here. I have a question for you. Before I already told you my tools. Do you have one favorite tool? Hello, everyone. Great to have you in this. One favorite. What's your favorite tool if you have a favorite tool? Nelly, you're from Maracaibo. Awesome. We need to talk. We need to talk. I took a course from someone from Maracaibo. Magic School. You know Magic School. Canva, definitely. Canva, it's the bomb. And it's adding new features. Canva, Corina, excellent. So Canva, I think ChatGPT and Canva, very hard to decide. Thank you. Thank you. TF, I don't know, TF. I love the acronym. Magic School and Canva, ChatGPT. Yeah, we are talking the same language. These are the ones that Rachel. Hello, Rachel. Excellent. ChatGPT, Magic School, Canva, definitely. So your favorite tools are in my favorite top 5. But probably I can give you new tips, and I'm always learning. In Magic School is the bomb. They are lifesavers, definitely, Nelly. But I have something to tell you. If you haven't, well, this is something for advanced use of Magic School. We need to talk. Probably, I was thinking we should have a workshop only with Magic School. Ludmila, that was my decision about Notebook LM. And Loribel and I, we are firmly believers of what it can do. But Notebook LM needs a workshop on its own. Notebook LM, and they are adding new features. Perplexity, Tatiana. Yeah, that's definitely on the top 10. Perplexity. Also, thank you for sharing. Most people, we are English teachers. We are teachers. We know what we need. But before diving into the tools, we definitely have to think about some important consideration. I forgot to add one thing that is probably one of the most important after number one, but well, I already had the presentation ready and there's nothing we can do. So what are the considerations that we need to have before using AI? When it comes to the organizations that are trying to create a framework, because this has evolved and changed so rapidly and so fast that it's kind of hard to keep track. I think we are using it before developing rules and developing frameworks, especially at higher education institutions. But the first thing is human agency. When I heard the word human agency, I was like, what? I said travel agency? What human agency? What do you mean by this? And when we talk about human agency, is that even though AI seems to be able to do everything and to produce results in a matter of seconds, whether are images, whether are videos, whether are lesson plans, uh, human agency should always be first. Your common sense, your ability to think as a human being, to be critical of the information that you are getting from the artificial intelligence tool. So it's not just getting the information, printing the information, printing the worksheet, or sharing the video with your students without carefully analyzing that the information is uh, true, reliable, uh, unbiased if possible, and that it doesn't have things that seem true but they are not. So that's where we come into place. That's why nobody's going to replace us, because one of the important things that is needed when using AI is human agency. Our brains should be also there in the process. You receive the information, whatever it is, in whatever modality, but you need to use your brain and decide, is this correct or not? Let me check it. Don't print it until you check it. That's number one. Number two, data privacy. We are sharing, like, I'm guilty myself of sharing pictures. At the very beginning, I wasn't sharing my pictures to create things. Like, for example, this avatar with my Bitmoji, that's not something that I needed, but anyway. And but we have to be very careful as adults with the information that we share about ourselves and about our students, particularly. There are some institutions, educational institutions, that already they have their guidelines on when not to use AI, what platforms are available for the students, etc. But most of the AI tools do not allow students younger than 13 to use them unless they are cheating on their age. That's what's happening in social media generally. And the fact that that's something that you have to keep in mind. That's why uh, the tools that we are discussing today are for teachers. Of course, Magic School has been created for educational purposes, and within Magic School, you can create like classes. Same happens with Canva, and that's okay. But definitely, the first thing first, data privacy and confidentiality. If by chance your institution, your organization, or the parents, if you ask for permission, allow you, especially, I would use, for example, high school people from high school. If you're working at the university, they are already older than 18 years old, so no issues with it's up to them to use the apps, and they are already using the apps. But with younger kids, who are very, you know, sensible, and we have to, and that their information also should be, kept private. Let's be mindful of data privacy and confidentiality issues, especially what we call now deep fake. We have to be very careful of sharing images and things like that, on not on AI but on any platform. And I don't know if you have noticed, but after some questions, even ChatGPT gets tired, and it starts having some hallucinations. Bias we know because, believe it or not, we don't know for sure the information and who fed the information to different AI tools and what type of information is included. If it's everything that is in the world or if it's a particular uh, aspect of what the world has created. So we will find biases that has to do with ethnicity, religion, political views, etc. So every time that we read something, we have to try to dissect if it has bias, if it has misinformation, or if it's culturally relevant to our context or not. Those are things that we need to to think when using AI. And when we talk about hallucination, is that after you're talking to ChatGPT, and after some time it begins. I say he because for me it's a he. He begins to produce answers like, no, this is not what I said, and this is not what I shared originally. So that may happen. So be careful with bias. Make sure that the information is accurate, and be mm, look at the lookout for hallucinations because they may happen after some time. Another thing is when you are creating things using AI, you need to find ways to decide, okay, is this helping my lesson planning? Is helping my process? Is aligning to, to my pedagogical views, to my teaching beliefs, all of that. If any of the AI tools know you a lot, probably it will, but you have always to double check. Uh, Make sure that whatever you create with the AI tools reflects your teaching style, reflects what you are trying to promote through your curriculum. So at the end of the day, AI should serve our learning goals, our students' learning goals, basically. And finally, one of the things that I really believe is that thanks to AI, we are learning and we are growing professionally, and we're always in the lookout for learning more things, and and definitely when we decided to become teachers, one of the things that we we swear was to become lifelong learners, where AI has proven that we have to continue learning because things change so fast. Probably that's good. No, not probably, but definitely that's good because that keeps our brains healthy. But besides developing that professional growth, we have to be good models for our students when it comes to the use of AI, the ethics behind the use of AI. If you are using AI for building or creating things, let your students know or put a disclaimer. It was generally what I do with the songs, with the worksheets, or even with the presentations. I put a disclaimer like I created this using Gemini. I got the idea from ChatGPT, so ChatGPT was my assistant, etc. So we have to be transparent about our use of AI because we if our students are still not learning about AI literacy, we have to be at least good models of good use of AI and helping them in the process. That's something that will come, especially those of you who are teaching middle schoolers and high schoolers. They already have their cell phones. They will be using ChatGPT to solve practices. So you have to define the guidelines. When AI can be used, and also we have to. That's another workshop completely, but we have to rethink assessment. That's a discussion for another day. So those are the things that for me are we should consider before using AI. Now I have a question in the chat. Each of these of the five considerations, do you think what would be the most important for your context and why. So I will read you. Let me, we have 68 people. I could have allowed you to open your cameras. Well, if nobody, I will probably allow everybody to open their cameras if possible. Not the microphone, but at least the camera. Data privacy, ethics, definitely, Yvonne. That's for me. And if we want to teach our students ethical use of AI, we should be a model and we should be transparent. Felipe, and definitely, and actually, every time that Felipe says, but we have to let them know that AI does not have the absolute answer. Nobody has the absolute answer, and AI even less, because at the end of the day, ChatGPT, Gemini, at the bottom of their searches, and it says, ChatGPT makes mistakes. Double check the information. And when we talk about making the information up, that's what we call hallucinations. Absolutely. That's why we need human agency. Yeah, confidentiality. We have to double check, especially. I wouldn't share private information with ChatGPT. Not even about myself, less about my students. Thanks, Luz. Uh, Thank you for for sharing your thoughts. So let's dive in. So definitely ChatGPT. I know that we have people from Venezuela and actually Juan Carlos Rivera from the real office told me like, Eva, there will be people from Venezuela. And then I said, okay, I need to consider what is your lesson planning. I have Nelly. I think that is, I have like 4 people probably from the same institution. So what I'm going to do is that I have a general lesson planning model for you to explore, but I also have the one from Meduca. Meduca is the Ministry of Education from Panama, and just to let you know, here this year we are. Meduca is trying to implement a new curriculum based on competencies and particularly on the Common European Framework. And our lesson planning format is new, so everybody's learning. And I thought, why not using AI to help us with that new lesson plan? So that's basically what we will be exploring. So probably most of you use ChatGPT for lesson planning. Hopefully, some of the tips that I will give you about how to use it may refine and make your results even better. So these are the 3 things that you can do with ChatGPT. You can do many other things, but in the time that I had to select like, let me pick up my 3 favorite ones. Definitely lesson planning assistant. Remember, assistant. You will be the teacher. You are the ones with the decisions. You are in charge. It also is wonderful for creating assessment, giving you ideas and actually the worksheets and everything, and the rubrics that go with those worksheets or projects. But especially these days where I don't know what is the situation in Venezuela, but what is happening in Panama is that it's more common to have students with special needs, and a variety, what we call diverse classrooms. And most English teachers, we don't not have the training, the official training. I mean, we may read on how to cope and deal with this situation, but we don't know how to manage. And especially when you have like 5 students per class, sometimes I had that situation once. You need to have a differentiation helper, and ChatGPT can do that for you. So let me jump right in. I don't know. I haven't seen people reactions. I don't know if it's me, Loribel. Let me know because I don't see the reactions. But I wanted to know if uh, you're using your computer, because this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to open ChatGPT, but I'm also going to share with you my document with the prompts. So you can take it home, you can use it, you can download it, you can make it your own and edit it and share it with your peers. If you are using uh, your cell phone. I will also attach a PDF that you can, go back and forth. So whatever, I will have a plan. I understand, Ellie. So what I will do, excellent, Eleonora. So I will have two options. I will give you a PDF and I will give you um, what I have as a Google Drive. So let me open ChatGPT here. And it's because I already have it here. Let me escape the presentation just for a while. And let me share with you my screen. Okay. So I have two things that I will share. I have also my drive. So let me share first the PDF that has what I call, I generally what I do, what I have learned during these webinars with EST particularly, is that they create a handout for participants. So I will share with you the PDF version so you can see it, but I will also share with you the the Google Docs. Hopefully it doesn't collapse. So let me share here, make it available for everybody to see because we are, so it is open. So anybody with the link has access to this PDF. If you're using your computer, would be my suggestion, using this one in the drive. If you're using your cell phone or whatever works for you, I have had students that are very proficient at using cell phones and they can split the screens and everything. So let me, this is the handout in PDF. There you go. So you have the two versions. And why is it? I will be also sharing the prompt in the chat, just in case you can do it. So let me show you what we have in this handout. I will open the Google Docs better. And actually, while I was creating this, I was using all the apps. Like, I need you to help me creating better prompts. Who is better at creating prompts? The tools themselves. So this is, and something that I like about Google, as another conversation that we need to have is Google Workspace and Google Docs is the ability to divide things by subheadings so seamlessly that you can have access to everything. And then ChatGPT and Gemini makes things better for us. So let's talk about ChatGPT as a lesson planning assistant. I know that I don't know if I want to read your reactions or an emoji in the chat. How do you feel with the new planning at Meduca? I don't know. Tell me. This is the moment. Probably. And I have a question. How much time do you spend planning before AI? Regularly or before AI? How much time do you spend without AI planning? Here in the chat. Marilyn, I'm going to share the PDF. Ludmila, let me tell you, 6 hours, I believe you. My weekend, Laura, absolutely. Especially like people like Laura is a colleague and a friend of mine. She works with many levels. So that's true. So let me, Marilyn, I'm going to share again the PDF with the handout so you can have access to it again. There you go. Okay, plenty. Yeah, exactly. Many hours. So thanks to AI, at least we save some time, but we need to be clear that whether we are using ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, Perplexity, Canva, whatever our lesson planning assistant, AI assistant is, we need to use human agency. We need uh, to 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 use our brains and see, this is information is not correct. So that's just a recommendation. So I have two prompts for this particular lesson planning thing. Let me make this a little bit bigger so you can read it better if you're using your cell phone. And these are just guidelines. My suggestion for if you're using a different lesson planning, I have the one that says universal lesson planning prompt. Uh, that is a very without any context, but generally a lesson plan that will have the grade level, subject, topic, how many minutes. But if you don't want to provide all that information, you can simply type a prompt and then uh, refine your search. But I have realized that the more I give, the more instructions I give, the only thing the better the results. So I may give this, and then I I complete this information, grade level, subject, topic, duration, proficiency level, if we're using the Common European Framework, class size, because class size matters, and if you have any special considerations. That's something that you need to include. And then provide the list. This is a very general lesson plan, very universal for people that are not part of Meduca, that they work at a private institution that hasn't embraced the new lesson plan format. And then you have generally something like this, but you can tailor it to your own lesson plan. What I would suggest you to do is to upload the plan into ChatGPT and then tell him, like, I need a prompt to generate this kind of lesson planning. That's the only thing that you need to do. Let ChatGPT, what do you need for a lesson plan? Upload the lesson plan for template, and then ChatGPT will create a prompt that you can reuse, and will uh, provide better results. I guess that's my recommendation. You can also start with a conversation, like people, the way it works for you. For me, it works the following way. So I'm going to use the one from Educa, just for people's sakes. And every time that we are somebody's transcribing the meeting. Okay, every time that we uh, are going to provide a prompt to AI, there are different like formulas, but there's one formula that is general to everybody. You need to establish the role. In this case, ChatGPT is going to be my curriculum planning assistant and an expert in the Meduca English curriculum. And you have to provide uh, the specific content and add the details. Those are the three things: role, the task that is going to create a lesson plan, and then the details. So this is what I'm going to copy. This is from the PDF that you have, or the document that both in the chat, or the link that I share. So I'm going to copy from here everything: the example, the format, the standards, the materials. This is our lesson plan, people from Venezuela. It's like 5 pages long. That's why we have so many people here today on a Friday night instead of having fun. There you go. So it's still not perfect, but I think at least I get the information. I still think I need to tweak things a little bit. So I'm going to copy, and of course, let me just give it ChatGPT some background. So I'm going to copy the information. A team planner aligned to official Meduca, critical construction, third person, specific standards. And then I will say, if something that I forgot to add is for grade, I think one, two learners, total there's something missing. A total of 7 hours. I don't know about you. We have 7 hours per week of 40 minutes. Uh, theme. I'm going to choose a scenario one. This is the topic. If you have a topic, scenario one, a walk in the neighborhood. Theme one, this is my favorite. I think that's the one. Okay, anyway. So this is the information that I have, but I have an extra tip. This is the format, but I need to have the program. I need to have the curriculum. I need to have, the background information. Where is ChatGPT getting this information from? So definitely you will need your program, the curriculum from your school, the content from your class if you're teaching the private institution. I don't know, your book. If you don't have a curriculum, you have a book, then you need the pages from the book that you need your plan from. I think this is fourth grade. Let me just guess, is fourth grade. Hopefully, let me keep my fingers crossed. Yes, it's fourth grade. And what I do, it's the following. This is a tip that I always teach my students, but probably you already know it. It's about using the snipping tool. One of the things that ChatGPT allows you to include as an input are images or screenshots. You can add text, you can add photos, you can add files. You can connect it to your Google Drive. You can do deep research if actually you want to do some deep research on the web. That takes a lot. But there are many things that you can add. But one of the things that you can do, this is our curriculum for fourth grade. And I think on page 31, if I'm not mistaken, or closer to 31, there you go. A walk in the neighborhood. So this is a walk in the neighborhood, and this is all the information that I need to have for my lesson. For my theme, number one, this is my favorite. There's a tool that is called snipping tool. In Spanish, it's called herramienta de recortes. But even if you put it in English, snipping tool, immediately it will appear on your screen. The snipping tool is my favorite friend. It's my best friend when I'm creating things. And what it does when you open it is that it creates like a dialogue that you can take a screenshot from the screen. Everything that you need to have from your curriculum is there. When you go into ChatGPT, the only thing that you have to do is Control V. That means Control V, and ChatGPT will copy just a screenshot. And believe it or not, the good thing about AI is that it can read images. It can read text from images. ChatGPT can do that. So images, Word documents, PDFs, ChatGPT is very good at reading those. The other thing is the scenario one, besides having the standards and the learning outcomes, has some social linguistic competences. So in our case, what we do is we take another screenshot of what we need and we add it also to ChatGPT. So whether you are using the Meduca plan, whether you are planning for the university, if you also teach at the university, you need to include your lesson plan format. I can add it here. I have it here. What we call it the theme planner. And let me look for it really quick. So we have the theme planner here, and there are some instructions with the guide. And of course, this is the information. Took some time. Yes, it took some time, but it's less time if I spend 6 hours planning this. So you are my curriculum recommended guide. Use the information attached to this chat. So this is what I have, and voila. There you go, guys. You're welcome. I need to have like a table version, of course. I copy and paste it and I fix it and I use human agency. I check that the information is not hallucinations, but it's very correct because I added the information from the screenshots and the screenshots are really easy to read. So whatever, uh, these are my tips for lesson planning. Include your lesson plan format, preferably as a Word document. Include any information that ChatGPT needs to know. For example, in my case, he already knows that we are working with the CFRR, the Common European Framework. Include the information you need, and it will render the information for your lesson plan. You will have your lesson plan. Here you have the SMART objectives, the materials, because I I included the template with the instructions, the differentiating instruction, particularly the learning sequence, and then the lesson planner, lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, lesson 4, lesson 5, and then voila. That's for lesson planning. Your thoughts, guys. Rosa, you want to talk about the 3 projects. Remember, an scenario has 3 sorry that we are talking about Meduca things. 3 uh, projects. My suggestion is that you let you can decide and you can include which project you would like to develop in the lesson plan, and you can tell ChatGPT which one would you develop from the 3. Uh, you have two themes in one scenario, and you decide if you want to develop one project for the whole scenario. Those are 3 suggested uh, project projects that you can 21st century projects that we call it. And of course, they are based in project-based learning. For those new to this, is that in Panama, besides trying to align to the Common European Framework, which is the reference for everybody learning a second language, uh, finally, we also are trying to help our students to develop, an action-oriented approach. Rather than being a passive learner, they have to own the learning. They have to become agents. That's why we are also promoting project-based learning, Rosa. You're welcome. Uh, Joanna, do you want me to show the prompt? Time saving, guys, time saving. Not only the prompt, I will share with you the link where everything is. Remember, Joanna, I'm still fixing the prompt. I'm every time like I need this, but it's only a matter of uh, what I'm, it's a matter of cosmetic thing rather than how it looks rather than the information it gives. The rest for me is perfect. Right now, what I get from the prompt is perfect. And this is just a regular chat GPT. That's a Google Docs. You have viewing permissions. And just in case you want to own it, Joanna, I can see people joining. What you have to do is go into File, Archivo, make a copy, and it's yours. Make a copy. And that's the prompt. So this is ChatGPT as a lesson planning assistant. Thumbs up. So if at least you will be happy this Monday because you already have like ChatGPT all sorted out for your lesson, your theme planner. I'm really glad. I'm really glad. So there you go. So of course, for people from the good ladies from Venezuela, I love you girls. It's so great to have you. Same recommendation. Upload your lesson plan format, but blank. Blank lesson plan format, screenshots of the material that you need for the lesson, or a PDF that you have. And sometimes what I do is that I ask ChatGPT itself, like, I need to create this template. Can you create a prompt? So ChatGPT is the best creating its own prompts. I believe, of course, there are websites with prompts, there are documents that I have with prompts, but ChatGPT is the best creating its own prompts. Yeah, let me show you the prompt. So the prompt, in order for you to understand these Google Docs, is that this is uh, Google Docs organizes everything by headings and subheadings, so it's easy for you. You have like an outline, an interactive outline on the left panel. So here we have ChatGPT, and this is just one lesson planning assistant. This is the the prompt, a very long prompt, but with all the information ChatGPT needed to have it, that I copy, and then I include just my level, the hours. I need to be clear on the scenario that I'm going to develop and the theme. Remember, we have scenario theme. If you're teaching, it would be a unit, a lesson. So we may talk different ways of, for adding the content, but you understand what I'm meaning. You need to let uh, ChatGPT know what is the topic, what is, in our cases, scenario and theme. That would be the language that ChatGPT needs to understand. And also the screenshot. Remember, the snipping tool o herramienta de recortes in Spanish is the one that will help you to do screenshots just really fast. There are other applications, but this is my favorite because it comes from your computer. So this is ChatGPT as a, a planning assistant. I had it in the original. I had it in the original in the other order. I had assessment before and then differentiation planner, but I decided to now I had it. Let's go with assessment first, and then we go with differentiation. I will tell you why. So here we don't need like a very particular prompt, but you have some prompts. I had some sample prompts that you can use, but let me tell you that the easiest way, let me go back here. So I already have the classes, right? So I want you to create all the printables. Oh my God. And assessment for this theme. And immediately, because that's the best connection that you can do, is immediately ask keywords, guys. Printable. You need a printable. You don't need like an idea of what you're going. You need a printable. Mhm. Absolutely, Felipe. Remember that you can refine the prompt, and that's the prompt that I'm giving you as part of the document is not the final one. That it's just probably my third try on creating a prompt for the team planner. I'm still getting there, but uh, I am liking the results of what I'm seeing so far. But you continue improving the prompts. That's the idea. You take it, improve it, and if you can create a table, let me know because I need a table. Okay, so this is the printable listening worksheet. You have listen and write, exit ticket, printable number 2, reading worksheet, underline. I have to read it, but this is what I get immediately when I ask for activities to develop the theme. That's uh, my assessment, kind of ongoing assessment planner helper. You have it there, self-assessment. You have a formative assessment checklist. You have a speaking rubric. You have writing rubric for the poster. There you go. You have the rubrics for the whole thing, and you have differentiate. That's because ChatGPT already knows me. Is going to create this is what I if you have students with different situations, in this case, we are talking about, you know, things that can happen, but we don't know if they are real. But most of the time, you have TEA in Spanish is a, students with in this autism spectrum. We also have uh, people with hyperactivity and there are different things, right? And then if you get the information from your students, if you're the homeroom teacher, if you're working in a private school, definitely you will get their file and you will know. So then ChatGPT is not an expert, but at least it can help you. But you can double check with somebody who's a specialist. That's definitely something that we have to do. And you can ask for, uh, let me just, this is ChatGPT working as a differentiation coach or helping me. So create differentiating differentiated activities for students in the autism spectrum. Uh, let's see, uh, hyperactivity disorder. I had students like they have, a low IQ, but something that they still they can work in a regular classroom, but they are what we call in Spanish limítrofe, so very in the limit, and then you have to tailor activities to their needs, and it's okay. They have the right to receive an education too, even more than us, because they come with challenges that we don't have, and then we have to provide them. There you go. So when you have people like this with that you need to provide extra care, then ChatGPT will help you with that extra care. There you go. And those are the adaptations. I remember, of course, I can ask an expert, but I remember before ChatGPT or Gemini, I used to spend lots of time trying to create accommodations for those learners, even though at that time there were not so many, but now we have more. Uh, but if I have somebody who has the knowledge from the world, and probably if you check with the psychologists that you have in your school, the many of those things that are these, accommodations are very efficient. So that's also time saving. So what are your thoughts? I read you in the comments. So this is what you can do with ChatGPT among besides creating images, scripts. But this is what I like. When ChatGPT knows who you are, it's scary, but he knows who you are as a teacher, what are your beliefs, what is the background information that in this, the curriculum. He knows that we are looking for a common European framework, that project-based learning. He knows all that, so it's easier for him to build these kind of activities. And I will definitely share with you the results uh, of what we have here. So thank you for your comments. So that's why ChatGPT will be he's number one. He's number one for me. So let me now share number two. I know I ChatGPT needed like a whole workshop, but what can I say? Uh, so Gemini, I know that people feel that you. Yeah, thank you, Loribel. It's like you're cheating on ChatGPT, but I can have two lovers, guys. ChatGPT and Gemini are they have great features, and sometimes when, especially when we're using the free version, you run out of chats in ChatGPT, and then you will use Gemini, or I use Gemini first. That's what I do. So if you're using, when we are talking about ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, and this is the language that we're talking when talking about AI. These are the main chatbots. Those are most of the chatbots that power the other AI tools, especially ChatGPT. Jose, Copilot, it's excellent. It's you fall in love with one, and this is the one that you feel comfortable. Awesome, and definitely Copilot. If you are from an institution like Meduca that uses Microsoft 365 as their organization learning management system, and especially Teams and all that, of course Copilot is a great resource. In my case, I belong also to Meduca, and I used to use the three of them, Copilot, ChatGPT, Gemini, and and definitely all of them has great features. We have to probably share what are your thoughts on Copilot if you use it and it's your favorite. Probably it's because I use Google Workspace for my university, and then Gemini has become my second guy. But definitely Copilot is another great chatbot. Let's talk about Gemini. Gemini can do what ChatGPT does, lesson planning. It can be your differentiation assistant. It can be your assessment helper. You can use it for the same for for the same part, the same things that I recommended you to use ChatGPT. But I wanted to add extra things that you can do with Gemini besides the ones from number one. Let's add up. Uh, One of the things that, and it's connected to what we were talking about, one of the new tools, Notebook LM, is that Gemini allows you to interact with PDFs documents. So especially these days that we have to read a lot, good for you, Gabriela. Copilot, what happens with Copilot, it's that Microsoft developed their technology, Google developed their technology using BART. That was the original, and then OpenAI developed their technologies. What I read is that Microsoft also bought some shares in OpenAI, and of course they learn from the technology. But anything that works for you guys, perfect. I need to start using more Copilot to see the new features, uh, and the more the better, especially if they are free. So direct curriculum and document interrogation. So if you have your curriculum at hand, upload it into, that's what we are going to do to Gemini, and we can ask questions that we don't need to find, uh, uh, and we can interact with the document. That's something that also Notebook LM. But one of the things that I like the most is that Gemini, as it was developed by Google, Gemini holds the knowledge that Google has. Everything, everything. And that's why whenever I need activities with links, even if it can make mistakes every now and then, I will get the links from Gemini in a more reliable way than from ChatGPT. And also, uh, the fact that Gemini has different components, you can also create multimodal scaffolding materials. Now that it has Nano Banana, and of course ChatGPT is also has developed, DALI has evolved a lot, but we can use Gemini for these things. So let me go over my screen so we can have Gemini now. And remember, we are still using this handout. In this handout, we have Gemini, and I was using, for those of you who were part of my pre-K kindergarten uh, workshop, Marela and Laura, this is this is an example with the pre-kinder curriculum. So you can ask and find specific information from the scenario. You can find, you can do a check what are the skills for this. So it's like talking to the PDF using Gemini. So let me let me open Gemini, and just in case, the the funny thing is that Gemini comes with your cell phone. You didn't know, but it was there. ChatGPT, you have to install it, but Gemini, as most of us are Android users, Gemini is already in your cell phone if you didn't know. So take a look. Create images with Nano Banana, very efficient. But my recommendation, use Nano Banana if you want to create an image. If you want to do it for fun, go ahead. We are wasting some water, but I would use Nano Banana for for creating an image of a reading that I created with ChatGPT or with Gemini, and I don't have any visual to go with the reading. I created a dialogue using a script for a dialogue, and I don't have an image, then I will use Nano Banana for that part. Creating my own materials that are contextualized to my learners and my needs. So definitely. But if you wanted to put yourself in Paris, go ahead. But be mindful of how much energy requires an AI tool. So there you go. You have create music, that's Suno, and now we have create video. Uh, you have from Gemini. Same happens with ChatGPT. Every day you get access to the premium version for certain prompts and certain chats. So be mindful, be careful, and take advantage of those 3 or 4 that you have the best version for free for creating images, etc. So let me uh, add a document from the curriculum, and let's talk about this document. Let me just, in case somebody's teaching 10th graders. So you upload any document i- th- that you want to interact, that you don't want to take some time, like, oh my God, I have to read the whole thing. I don't know. I know I know that I saw it somewhere, but I don't know where it is. So that's one easy way for you to use Gemini. And Notebook LM is better, but we will talk about. Hello, darling. No worries. Welcome. Uh, this meeting is being recorded, so good for you. You probably will get access to the recording. So we are discussing Gemini. Let's see, it's still in the process, and let's, yeah, a heavy document. So let me use the prompt that I have here. Instead of using pre-kinder, I will use, I think I uploaded 10th grade, right? So okay, so let me copy the prompt. And of course, it's the only thing that I will do with the prompt is in the 10th grade curriculum. If you have your curriculum, and especially if you're working at an institution that you are teaching not only English, but you are teaching spelling, you are teaching grammar, you are teaching reading, writing. You have so many different curriculum content and materials that you sometimes forget where they exactly in which document. You can do that with with Gemini. So immediately, instead of spending like scrolling it down, up and down, Gemini can help you finding the information. Let me close ChatGPT just in case it may happen that it's still thinking, doing some analysis. There you go. There you go. So you immediately, that it will become like your your personal reader, your person who will find the information like in a digital in your digital library. So that's something that you can do with Gemini. Besides, of course, lesson planning and things like that. But doing in this particular thing, Gemini is really good. The other the other thing that you can do with Gemini, I was telling you, for example, immediately I have my project-based learning, but I would like some ideas. And this is where I like Gemini. The chance to get access to links and websites. Can you give me some ideas from the web and include the hyperlinks? Make sure they are still valid or working. So this is the interaction we get. Not only Gemini was able to find the information right away, but it is also giving me ideas from the web on how to do my any project from my student, or if you have an idea for an activity, it will give you the links uh, to some people doing things, and even Shakespeare. Uh, wow, come dine with me. Let me see, but of course, let's see if actually these links are valid. There you go. That's something that sometimes ChatGPT doesn't get right. So I'm sorry, ChatGPT, I love you. You're good at lesson planning, but Gemini is better at finding updated resources. And of course, Google has all the knowledge from the world. And of course, if you when we talk about multimodalities, uh, and 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 doing a scaffolding, that would be something that you can do with Gemini and with Nano Banana, uh, with doing, let's see, personal narrative. Let me just include this one, and I will do it as my project. I need to build the scaffolding for this project, considering they are 10 graders from Panama, from Venezuela. You have to provide the AI tool with the context. And I will say that they are A2, probably A2. I'm not sure. I would put from B1, somewhere in between, in the CFR. So when we talk about scaffolding, remember, uh, scaffolding is like building, putting the foundations for the building. I always see it as the, scaffolding in real life means the materials that they use to for the as the foundation before building as a building or a house. Same happens with language. We need to establish what is the root, what are our stepping stones to help our students reach the other side of a topic, of the learning objective, etc. So there you go. And then you have the scaffolding for you, for creating a natural way of developing this project phase by phase, with all the scripts, all the templates, ideas for your lessons. And believe it or not, sometimes what I like about Gemini is also, especially with the rubrics, is that I'm able to export it to Google Sheets. So I can read you in the comments. How do you use Gemini, and what do you think of these capabilities? Have you used it as your research assistant, scaffolding, and helper? I can read you in the comments before moving to the next. People are too quiet in the chat. And it's okay, no worries. So we have discussed tool number one, ChatGPT. Tool number two, Gemini. Thank you, Wesley. Yeah. Yes, Corina, I have used, for me, Gemini. Well, Dali has become really good, but I have used ChatGPT to create my whole experience for a choice board of a lesson, for not only for and also for illustration purposes. I'm telling you, very, very efficient. And there are things that he can do that, of course, ChatGPT cannot. Thank you for sharing, Corina and Wesley, your thoughts in the chat. So let me go proceed, for, and hopefully, if you are from Meduca and you don't have the Canva for education, people from Venezuela, I don't know if you have access to an EDU. Let me know. I can read you in the comments if you have access to an EDU. Yes, Juan Francisco, you can create your own gems. I had my own gems and they are for free. But that's another workshop. But I can share with you the link. Uh, I will share my contact information at the end, and I can share with you the instructions on how to create a gem for Meduca, just in case it works for you. Gemini has, Wesley, Gemini, Copilot, ChatGPT, we can use them all, especially because we're teachers, we need the free resources. Thank you, Jasmina. Yeah, Gemini can do many things besides creating images and planning, but also what I like is I'm telling you, the links are they really work, and it give you feedback, and there are many things. The gem feature is the bomb, Nelly. And if you are you say that you're level 2, but I think you are 2.5, just like me. And gems are great, especially because they are GPTs, but gems are free. GPTs you have to pay, and that's another. But gems take we have people with their computers, and I was considering including the gems, but it will take like a whole workshop. We need that workshop too, and we have people here that also can talk that language, especially because it's free and you can create your own gems for many purposes. And I was telling it was Juan Francisco. Juan Francisco, at the end of this presentation, I will share my email. You can send me a message and I will send you a link. I created a YouTube video in my channel about creating gems. So hopefully if you haven't done, but a gem particularly for Meduca, for the team planner, just in case it works for you. Oh, interest. You are using GPT, which is an AI. Do you have access to Gemini? I don't know, Carolina, and and Nelly, Ludmila. Let me know if you at least have access to Gemini. Awesome, awesome. So, and the good thing is that it belongs to Google, so it has all the power. Excellent. Let me tell you, sometimes I use more Gemini than ChatGPT. But if you have GPTs, what they did with GPT is that they developed their app using OpenAI. So it's more or less the same. Awesome. Okay, so let's continue with the next. Another favorite of most of the people when we ask which one was your favorite tool, and people say Canva. Of course, Canva. Canva save our lives. But Canva is getting better and better. Uh, every day, and especially Canva for education. If if your institution doesn't have an EDU like Meduca domain, you need to ask for that. But also, Canva allows you, even if you don't have the EDU, if you can send proof that you are a teacher, even with your ID badge from your school, Canva, people from Canva will get the information from your ID badge and they will give you Canva for education. So even if you don't have the EDU. Yes, Wesley, I love Canva for education. I think everybody at Meduca who has already that is loving the fact that we have it for free. But even if you don't have it, if you're working at a private institution in Panama, hopefully most of the institutions that are really highly recognized, they already have an EDU domain thanks to Google Workspace. So that's what you need. But if you don't have it, let me tell you, a badge or your a receipt of your paycheck, not your paycheck, but a receipt, something that proves that you are a teacher is enough. So this let's Canva can do many things, but remember, I'm adding up because repeating the things over and over again doesn't make any sense. Of course, Canva can do many of the things that Gemini and ChatGPT do. But what I like about Canva is how visually engaging it is, how we can create our own interactive activities. And even we can host those activities in our own website. That's even a plus. So as teachers, we have access to our own domain in Canva. I hope this stays like this forever. And you generate content that is tailored to your students because thanks to the AI feature, you can even improve what Canva already has. Even generate images that are particularly to your context. That's priceless. And we can also collaborate in real time. When you are part of a team, we are part of the Meduca team. I am also part of, thanks to one of my former students, also a teacher trainer. She had a team called Panama. Nobody knew that it was her team, but we joined her team. We were part of the Panama team. Good for her. Uh, but institutions like, you know, Ministry of Education, in the case of Panama, Meduca, they already have 10,000 users. That's a lot. We are 54,000. So that 10,000, more than 10,000 users are already in Canva. That says a lot. So people are creating things, and we can collaborate. And that's one of the things that I'm recommending you to do, particularly people working at Meduca, or even if you work at an institution and you teach, you have colleagues that are teaching the same level as you are, then the idea is to share, to build things together, to collaborate. I always believe in something that one of the relos that we had in Latin America, he was Mexico and Central America, the relo from Mexico and Central America, Michael Rudder. Back then, he said that one of the things that he believed teachers should have is collegiality, and that's something that stick to me. Collegiality is that we have to help each other. That's why we're here, uh, because at the end of the day, we are all trying to change the world from our classrooms. And if we collaborate and we have great ideas, uh, there are things that we can do together. We can change the world through education. I certainly believe that. So allowing to collaborate, that's another thing that we can do with Canva. So let me close here. And what happens is that when you are using different AIs, you have to close them because AI takes a lot of power. So let me go into Canva and let's see if I can sign out. Uh, Perhaps, well, let me show you. Let me show you just one thing, just in case you haven't. I don't know if somebody from here hasn't joined Canva yet. Uh, the Canva for Education, I mean. So let me go over. This is my user from Educa. If you have your personal user, either your Gmail account, your Hotmail account, your Outlook account, uh, you can connect it with your institutionalized account by adding another account. If you have never used Canva, because this is you you don't feel comfortable yet, uh, or you have used it only the personal from your personal email, my suggestion is add your account from your institution. Here, if your school is using Google Classroom and using Google Workspace, then you go through Google, or you can continue with an email that if you don't want to connect it with your personal account, you go continue with your email. That would be the way to go. So so if it's the first time using Canva, then definitely that's what you have to do. Log in, log out if possible. If you're using your personal, yeah, maybe Canvas is for free if you are a Meduca teacher. If you are a teacher and you are not from Meduca, but your institution has an edu, un correo que termina en edu, edu.com, .pa, edu, then you have Canva for free. If you are from Educa Girl, you simply have to continue with your email, write your Meduca email, your password, and you're all set. You will have Canva for Education for free. As they were saying, I love it every time they were saying this, free forever. And if you forgot your password, if any of you forgot your password from Meduca because you were not using Microsoft 365 and you were like, no, I don't need to use it anymore, you need to go to your regional uh, office from Meduca to the technical support people and ask them to retrieve your user because sometimes people forget that they changed their cell phones, etc., and they don't have access. That would be my recommendation because you need to have Canva. Well, then you need to connect it with your work account, and if you don't have any EDU account, go do what I'm telling you. They ask for proof, your ID badge, etc. So let me show you. So what you can do with Canva, and people that are familiar, probably I'm just uh talking like, yeah, I already know this. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine. Uh you as an educator, you can even, this is the space where you can create classes if that's what you want with your students. I particularly may use this with adults, with high schoolers, for example. Uh, because you can even create classrooms, classwork. Remember, projects are the things that you have created with Canva. I will show you some of the things that I have created. And the templates is where all the knowledge is. You don't need to reinvent the wheel, especially in Canva for education. So you have education presentation, you have worksheets, you have docs. This is something they have. This is something that they included recently. They have docs like Google Docs, and they have sheets. Besides, all the posters, and this is where we get the education website. Thanks to your Canva for education, you can have your own website. I will show you. And education flyer, this is all the things that you can do. Certificate, class schedule, lesson plan. For lesson plan, there are some templates, but if you're very creative, you can create your own Meduca themer, theme planner beautifully with Canva, just in case you want to go in that direction. But let me show you just as a worksheet that I like worksheets. And I don't know if anybody wants to tie something that they would like, they need, for example, for their scenario, for a topic they are teaching. You can type it in the chat and I will try to find it in Canva. Somebody? Even Loribel? I'm kidding, Loribel. Anybody. So what happens is that sometimes we spend hours either trying to find information, phonics like short sounds. Thank you, Wesley. Thank you for saving. So, uh, short sounds. Let me phonics. So actually, people have already daily routine. Also, Vanessa, thank you for saving my life. So you have it already. It's already there. You can take it, grab it, and make a copy and adapt it to your needs. You don't need to go to Google and look for images or look for in Pinterest for something that you cannot edit. This is already there. So before Canva for EDU is fantastic. Let's go do your search with daily routines. So you can have a worksheet, you can have a presentation, you can have everything. Like right now, I just let me delete worksheet and let me do a general search with no category at all. So this is something that you need. This is my recommendation. Probably most of you already know, but that's something that is already there. Daily routine. So a day in the life of Leo. You already have a presentation for third graders. Or daily routines. Daily routines. Yeah, you have a quiz, you have a worksheet, you have templates. You have agendas just in case you have coloring things, and it's already there for you. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. And what this is like collegiality at its best. People share their resources through Canva, and we can and everybody benefits from their knowledge. So let me just this is what I have. Uh, so remember, you customize the template, but you can also personalize things thanks to AI. So let me tell you how I have uh, taken ideas from some people before going into AI, guys. Before going into AI, taking ideas from some people, and let me look for my recent. I have everything here. Presentations. Of course, I created my avatar. The images are here. Let me look for the projects here. TISO. My projects. I want to show you something that I'm really proud of, and then I don't find it. They're coming, they are coming. There you go. This is one. So what happens is that I I was I wanted to have like a fun activity for teaching about actions. And and thank God at my school we have a smart board and we have a lab. It's not perfect, but at least we have that. And I wanted to have this for a game. So I printed them, but I also had it for a game like a whiteboard game. And I created this with, so these images are related to what I wanted to teach and they look like I wanted them. So this was created with Canva. When you add elements, images, you can generate images with AI and images that are specifically about the things that you want and they can look as you. So this is my presentation, very funny, but these are flashcards that I printed, but I also created a board game. So the whole experience. And Canva AI can turn any image into a video. That's also something that you can do. So let me this is something very simple, but it took some time. I took some flashcards that I created using AI also, and and there was a combination of Canva, ChatGPT for creating this particular activity for my students. That's one of the recommendations that I have. If you are not in Canva, really AI with the Cam. Oh, thank you, Vanessa, for that. Well, probably the thing is that I haven't used it like to the max because I have used Canva AI to certain extent, and then it creates what I like. Another tip. Let's go over to Canva AI. So this is what you can do. Canva can create presentations, videos. You can record yourself, screen sharing. It's the whole package. You want to create agendas. You want to introduce yourself to your students. There, everything is is there. The only thing is that you have to grab it. Even if you don't have the Canva for Education, the free options. The templates are good quality. You don't have access to all of the features, but you have access to some, and that's enough because Canva definitely is great. So let's take a look at Canva AI very quickly. Time really flies. So when it comes to Canva AI, Canva, if you don't have any idea what you want to create, it gives you already some things like you want to create a learning activity, you want to create a video. Yeah, there are tons of things we can create. You can create games, etc. Right? And these are all the things that you can do with Canva. If you simply want to type something as something that you will, your Christmas list. And I can ask for, I should have my projects here so you can look at them. Recent chats, role play worksheet. Let me see if I can see. Well, anyway, uh, it can code for you. What it means that it can create a game, create an interactive game about daily routines, appropriate for sixth graders. And what Canva will do is that it will start doing some coding. We don't know anything about codes. We are not programmers. We are teachers. And that's what Canva does best. You don't need a host, a domain, because Canva will have your back. You will have your own website. And what I do usually is that sometimes I create the code with ChatGPT and then I copy the code in Canva and immediately it will generate. So let's keep Canva doing what it does best while we explore uh, this. It's still Canva AI is working, but remember you can generate the images. These images were generated with AI. Exactly. Canva code is part of, thank you, Loribel. Canva code is part of the new AI features, and we don't need to know code, but Canva will code for you. Let's see. Of course, my instructions were very general, but the more specific they are, the better. But Canva will let you know. It will give you version one, for example, and it will ask you if you want to edit it or you want to launch it on a website. No, we don't need to be experts at all. Remember, we were technology advocates. That was me. And then we have become AI users. And remember, practice makes perfect. And yeah, games. Uh, that's what I'm trying to create an interactive games and edit them too. And that's why this is, for me, when I chose those five tools, it was like a chat GPT for lesson planning assessment and this. And then Gemini, of course, it can do all of the previous things, but also it can do these things. But then if I want to create materials that are appealing and effective and interactive, and uh, this is what I do. I think, let me see if I can see version one. Hopefully, it can now store that. I don't know, Canva, please. I do have some games that I have created, but I don't see if they appear as projects. Well, since Canva already ran out of lines, I don't know. Let's hopefully we can see. But what you will get is that you will get a a game. I don't know if what happened with and the game. Where is it? I don't see it. It should open, but something is, it happens. But there you go. It says Canva AI can make mistakes. That's what I'm talking about. You disclaimer. Please check for accuracy. Well, something happened. I don't know. But let me tell you. Let me go back. Something happened on the way to heaven. But let me tell you that as part of my projects, let me see if I have something that I can show you. Interactive matching game. There you go. At least I can show you something. So there you go. I was teaching, was writing, and my student needed to review the steps for the writing process. And this was, a drag and drop exercise. I don't know anything about coding. Then with the instructions, I included the material from my class. Uh, Canva created the game, and then these are the buttons that I was telling you about. You can use in a design because you are going to edit it, or you can publish if you think that this is what you need. So when you publish it, this is where you get your name as a URL. Canva asks you if you want to have your own domain. I say, of course, I don't want. I want my own domain for my activities, and only your students will have access to those activities. So this is my domain for Canva, just thanks to Canva for Education. So every activity that is created through this AI experience as an interactive or experience, then of course you. The first time that I used Canva code, they didn't have this website. I was like, where I'm going to run it if I don't have a website? And I was trying to run it in Moodle, in 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 Google, and see what happened. On Google side, nothing happened. Then Canva created their own website. So as a Canva user for education, you get your own website. So what are your thoughts on what you have seen about what Canva can do? What's new for you, even if you were a Canva user? I wanted to see it in the chat. Canva needs a whole workshop. Let me know. Let me. Thank you, Alcira. And you are so creative, so you will love it because I love what you used to do with your for your preschoolers and kindergarten students, only with Word and the things that we had. Can you imagine what you can do with Canva? Yeah, people were using Canva for presentation. Canva even has choice words, uh, has so many resources. We need to have a complete conversation and workshop about Canva. Yes, Corina, I love it too, especially because we don't know anything about coding. Canva is a whole world. It's full of things without knowing coding exactly. Thanks, Canva, for doing that. They had this big conference. So if you're a Canva user, they promoted like this event. They are based in Australia. Well, that the event was in Australia, and they were sharing the updates, and it was such an energetic experience. I watched it live on YouTube, but it was like I wanted to be there. Yeah, we are Canva lovers. 100%. Thanks, Meduca. And if your institution doesn't have a EDU, you need to ask for that because you will have Canva for Education, many things. And when you are part of a team, you are uh, you are um, you get all the benefits. I have a question for the Venezuelans. Do you use Canva? Mm. And do you have access to Canva for Education, Nelly, Ludmila? Awesome. Excellent. I was going to share with you, like, if you didn't have it, I was going, let's join my team so you can have it. Yeah, they are including audio now as part of the uploads. I saw it that you can include audio, and also you can embed presentations within presentations. Is like, let me tell you, if you want to learn more, because you don't have to trust me, just you know, I in terms of Canva, I'm 2.5, but I want to be like a 5. When it comes to Canva, they also have like a school where you can learn. I need to share that you can. It's like tutorials, design school. There you go. So let me share the link. I'm taking a course right now. Yeah, Canva is our best friend forever. And this is Canva Design School. If you are new to Canva or you are experienced, this is where you learn. Right now, I'm taking a certification. There you go. I'm starting with the teacher essentials. I'm there, but I need to build something in order to get the badges. So our team are crazy for badges. So I'm getting my Canva badge. So this is the way for us to keep updated of how things are happening. Okay, I'm glad that you are also Canva lovers and that you know that there are many things to learn and to design with this great free tool for teachers. So let me uh, go to number 4. This is one that I was telling you, I was thinking like Magic School. School AI. I have like two lovers when it comes to no, I have three, but I decided for Magic School. So let me share number 4. And some people were saying that they were using already Magic School, but hopefully, I don't know if you already know that. And thanks to Lori Bell encouragement, I already have my certification. If you want to be certified by Magic School, the course is really short, so you can get level to level 2. I'm still taking more courses, but you can get your level 2 batch for Magic School. So what you can do with Magic School for me would be for somebody who is starting their AI experience and ChatGPT doesn't provide them with the answers they need. So so I will start with Magic School. Like Magic School already sorted everything out and I don't need to think about prompts. Prompts, what Magic School has done and they are expert is using power. They are AI power, probably by OpenAI, and what they did was creating these mini tools for teachers where we just complete the blanks, like prompts that we complete, and they generate something. But besides creating things for your classes, finding the right tool, uh, what I like, and all, of course, using Reina. I have Reina somewhere. They gave me Reina, the plush toy. Reina is our tutor at Magic School. So when we don't know which which way to go, like I'm so lost, I don't know what to do, then Reina is our tutor at Magic School. And besides that, what I like is that you can create your own tools. So I will keep you posted because I think I'm going to create a tool for the team planner. I have created a gem and I created a GPT for the team planner, but they are still not working as I liked them to be. So that's why I'm not sharing this yet, but I will be sharing them uh, in you have my contact, you will have my contact information. But anyway, with Magic School you can create your own tools and also you can create your own space for your students where they can use the tools. I don't know if I will use this with the elementary kids, but definitely with middle schoolers and high schoolers, that's something that I will try because it's for teachers. It's a space for 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 educators and their students. So definitely, these are my summary of other things that you can do with Magic School. Let me share then. This is what generally I do because uh, too many AI tools can cause trouble. So let me Magic School. Google remembers. Yeah, definitely number 1 and free for teachers. I would say that if you want to get most of the features, I don't have my Meduca account. Let me see if it's no, it's my Gmail account. But I would use my Meduca account if I want to have like, a professional Magic School. But this is Magic School. You need to become familiar. Of course, the 3 bars is the menu, and you have teacher's tool, but also if you are teaching writing, you have specific tools for writing for giving feedback, like a writing assessment sidekick that you can create with Canva, and also what they call my collections. My collections is where you have your own tools organized, and those are the ones that you use, like your favorite ones. And of course, this is Reina. So Reina is a chatbot that will help you create your resources. You can ask Reina anything, and I can even tell her, I don't know where to start. So Reina will, let me share here in the chat. Thank you, Ludmila, for being here. Hmm. Thank you, Loriville. I was going to share uh the worksheet generation on Magic School. Everything, all the tools are great. So my suggestion, if you have already familiar with what Magic School can do, uh, keep reading because there will be always new tools that they are adding because they are building things. Like the first time that I look at Magic School, there they had like 50 tools. Now we have more tools like vocabulary list generation, project-based learning tools, teacher observations, lesson hook. They have lots of things. What what is up to you to decide what to use. For teachers who are using social emotional learning or are incorporating social emotional learning into their classes, here you have lesson plans ideas. And for me, Magic School is like everything. It is like Christmas in February. You have everything you need. Uh, and if you don't want to go into the prom thinking, and you need to find a reading, you have a text and you need to put it for a particular grade level. This is a text level that, for example, sometimes I find interesting articles, but they are not appropriate for my students. And that's what you do. You can paste the article there, and then it will generate the region, create the article again in a language that is appropriate for students. There are many tools that can do that, but in this case, you don't need a lot of prompt. You only need the level, and then paste the original text, and voila, you have it. So Magic School has an image generator that is powered by Adobe Reader, Adobe Firefly. Firefly also is creating avatars, just for you to know. That's why it says hot, because people are using it. And this is what I was telling you. If nothing like this, for example, the lesson plan is not the format that you need. There's something that you want to design, and but we are not programmers. At least here, similar to what you do with GEMS and GPTs, you can create a custom tool for your classes, and in your user, you can add to your collections to create a space for your students through this experience. And this is Magic Student. Uh, if you're teaching high schoolers, Magic Student allows students to learn about the ethical use of AI. And and this is because the students are using AI, especially high schoolers and university students, but they don't know uh, how to use it appropriately. Probably effectively, who knows? But ethically, I don't think so. So this is one way that we can help our students try this in a safe environment rather than use ChatGPT and then start doing crazy things sometimes. Mhm. So you will find your favorite at Magic School, but uh, it's up to you. Magic School is also, that's why I'm telling you, You have Reina if you don't know where to start. That's your tutor. You have teacher tools already created for you. You can organize those tools in what they call my collection. This is create a collection. It can be a collection for a class, a collection for a course, just a collection for you as an administrative, because we have to do lots of paperwork. That's something that you can do. And then you select the tools from Magic School. And then you have your collection. There are so many ways to go over these tools and have a stress-free 2026. And last but not least, my time is almost perfect. Is Let me share it with you, Suno. Give me, say, a thumbs up if you have used Suno, or in the chat, yes, no, let me know. I think if you were here at the very beginning of this workshop, I was telling you that as a language learner, I learned English through music. I learned English through songs at the time that we didn't have YouTube, guys. For these millennials, digital learners, not knowing YouTube, like how is that possible? Well, it was possible. Actually, sometimes we had to write down the lyrics. uh, Back in the day. So, and that's how I learned, through music and through read it. Thank you, Tatiana. Good for you. So I love Suno because Suno. Thank you, Juan. It's good that, well, hope you can incorporate it in your classes. I love Suno because I can create my own songs for my classes. Suno who? Yeah, let me introduce you to Suno, one of my best friends when I'm creating music. um, Bye, Laura. Have a safe trip. So, what happens with Suno? There are different ways to go over Suno. Let me open Suno as my final uh, top five. This is the top five, and Suno is a Google app. Suno is owned by Google, and what you can do. Thank you, Nelly. I'm glad that well, Suno. What I do is that I go into ChatGPT and then I write the vocabulary and then ChatGPT creates the song for me. That's one way to do it, but you don't need to. Uh, of course, when you use Suno for the first time, as most of the applications, you need to connect it to your Google account. Google is everywhere, and and when you connect it to your Google account, Suno is free. Remember, every time we use these AI tools that are free, they have what they call credits. So you have certain credits per day that you own. In my case, I don't know, I have 430 credits. I don't know if I'm running out of credits. Hopefully not. Uh, but but I don't think I'm going to upgrade to pro. But if you have any musical knowledge and you know how to play an instrument, people are making money with Suno, just telling you. But anyway, I just use it for my classes. So let me just click create. It's very easy. You can simply describe the song or you can input the lyrics. And I'm going to create a song just for you. So uh, about English teachers from Latin America learning about AI changing the world one classroom at a time. It will be your best friend, Pamela. And the good thing is that you can download it from your cell phone as an MP3. So you don't need to have internet. When you are at home, you can download the song and that's it. So let me, you can include, special instructions and all that, like hope electronic, dynamic. I don't know. I don't have any idea. Sometimes I let Suno make the choice. Sometimes I tell Suno I need something more like reggaeton for my students, pop metal, well, Latin pop. Let me create a song for you. So immediately Suno will create two songs. I created one for generally for my groups. And let me show you what Suno creates a song. Let me I have also created some for the school anniversary, students' day, so it can be in Spanish. This is one that I use for teaching the simple no present continuous. Let me double check if I'm sharing the audio. No, let me share the sound. Okay. Let me know if you can. Oh, no, no, no.
Yeah, what are you doing? I'm washing, washing. What are you doing? I'm eating, eating. What are you doing? I'm dancing, dancing. I'm dancing, dancing now. What is he doing? He's running, running.
I'm telling you, and I brought. Where's my? I think I have my speakers here. Let me show you. So I brought my small speakers, my cell phone, and I already have my son for my students, and they love them. While we are doing activities, they ask me like, can you play the song? And then they sing the song, they know the language, the pronunciation, etc. So I have about sports, and I already have 3 followers. I can become an influencer. And people are making money with Suno, but it's getting better and better. Let me see what is our song for closing this workshop. Suno. Oop.
Coffee at dawn, slides on the desk, screen glow. You switch on a dream in a crowded room back home. Accents and jokes, chalk on your hands. You laugh. Let's train a new mind to ask better questions than we have. Changing the world one class at a time. From Bogota to Lima you rise. Every hello teacher lights up the sky. You turn a small room in.
That's why I had to finish with Suno. Suno is great. Yeah, Music FX is also for free if you also want to try another one, and you can create music just as soon as Vanessa sharing also another great tool. Vanessa, part of the AI Dream tool. Yeah, you can download, Gabriela, these songs as MP3s for free. If you want to share them though, uh, for example, on YouTube, then you will have to pay the licenses. But as we share with our students, we're okay. And as my students wanted to listen to the songs the whole day, I send them the link to my user, and they follow my son. My sons are all educational, so that's basically, and that's why I have to close with Suno, because even though it's not very formal, and for lesson planning, Suno, it takes, for those of us who learn a language through music and being able to create our own songs for our classes, and that they sound this level of professional. Suno my five. That's why it was number five. It was very hard because I had another one, but I think that one needs a whole workshop. So, as some final considerations, and I have the handout to share with you at the end for this presentation. Let me definitely Suno the best. If you want to keep learning about AI, these are my go-to organizations and go-to people. UNESCO already has a framework for teachers and students. When you click on the link here on the image, you will have access to the link to the framework. They have just published a new document like last week about assessment, like demystifying, with AI, all that. And also I belong, we belong to TCA, believe it or not, we are part of the Texas Teachers Association for AI because we took a training online with Texas with this group of teachers. I'm part of ISTE, which is the institution for science teachers and technology, but also teachers in general and for educators in general who use technology. So that's another one that has some guidelines on how to use AI. Recently, not recently, but last year, well, 2025, another organization, TESOL, published an article on uh, a framework for TESOL educators. Uh, what are the levels of where we can, our students can use AI and how to navigate through those levels. When it comes to tech experts, let me tell you, educators technology is my place to go. I am always learning. He loves publishing and Ditch That Textbook with Matt Miller is another also great website. He holds a free conference every December for 12 days, like the 12 days of Christmas. He gives free conferences with 12 for 12 days with experts on technology, on AI, on building things, on using, talking about mental health. That's another guy. And here we have two ladies, Alice Keeler and Casey. Casey, they are other educational experts that you can follow. You have the links to their websites and their resources. Use them. They are for free. Of course, Casey Bell has some uh, pay workshops, but she has a podcast that you can hear that is free. So, in order to learn in the era of AI, we have to follow at least some of these people. And let me tell you, do not forget, do not forget when using AI, you are in control. You are the teacher. You know what's best. No, AI is just an assistant. You are the one who makes the final decisions. Do not forget that. And always keep exploring, always keep learning. That's the wonderful thing of being a teacher. And thank you. Let me just share the PDF to my presentation. Well, I was expecting. Thank you. I'm going. Let me share my presentation with you. It's a PDF document, but all the links are there. Uh, this is the one. And thanks for being here. Well, at least I was expecting like 262 people joined. Probably they didn't see the link to the Zoom. Uh, but having at least 78 people originally was a lot. Uh, it was a pleasure, and this is the first of many other workshops that we will be giving. Our AI team and me, sharing with all the teachers, not only from Panama, but any teacher from the whole world who wants to to use AI effectively and to enjoy, enjoy teaching without stressing about the paperwork. Yeah, no, this is the first of many others. Thank you, Carolina. Thank you. Regarding, I know that people are interested in the pre-K and kindergarten. Let me tell you, it was face to face, and we had a situation, so I still have to run it with the people. So I will send the invitations, the invites. That's my email if you want to join this initiative and create this community of practice and learning. It was a pleasure. Thank you, and thanks Loribel and Vanessa for helping with the chats and thank God everything went well. I uh I had like another screen. We have like I have two screens, my computer and great helpers. Yeah, we will keep you posted. That's my email, and we will be working on creating like uh an AI Dream Team email. That's something that, who knows, and another website. Let's see, a page where we can keep in touch. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Patsy, Dayelis. Ah, the diploma. As I was expecting, let me tell you. Let me share here your certificate. This certificate is editable. Uh-huh. You only have to write your name. I forgot. There you go. I was going to create the one that it's created with Google Forms, but I was expecting 262 people, and Google Forms doesn't allow through that add-on to this amount of certificates. So I was like, how can I do it? And well, the only option is I'm sharing with you a PDF, and the PDF is fillable. You can add your name. It doesn't look fancy, but you can add your name. But I do have your emails, and if you want the other one that is fancy, I can send you a copy if you send me an email. This one is the same one, but you have to type. You download the PDF, and the PDF is fillable. You can type your name. Thank you, Ingrid. Great to have you again, Guadalupe. I'm glad, and hopefully this serves you for this year. And I will keep you posted because for those Meduca teachers, I have, and Loribel has been my guinea pig. She has been trying my team planner that I created with ChatGPT to see how it goes. Hello, Geneva. Thank you for being here. Thanks, Catherine. I'm glad that you like it. Eleonora, thanks for being here. And let's keep learning. Let's keep learning. And this time we had muted microphones. As I was telling you, I was expecting 200 plus people. But anyway, next time, if we get 100, we will have cameras on and we can see each other. Sorry, I did it like very American style. That's the way they do the webinars. That's a way for me to survive the 200 people videos that generally computers cannot deal, especially regular computers that are not very powerful. Thank you, Felipe, for being here. Thank you, Javi. Thank you, Ludive. Thank you, Ruby. My pleasure. I think sharing is caring, and in this profession, we need to care for each other, especially these days. Thank you, Carolina. Uh, and thank you, Marela. Marela gave me the ride yesterday after our almost second workshop. My pleasure. It's this something that I like. Okay. Thanks, Emilia, Stephanie, Pamela. Good to see you in one of my Eleonora, Darlenis, Maribel, and hopefully this is one of many others. Thanks for being here on a Friday night, and have a great, great weekend and a wonderful school year. Those of us who are beginning. Thank you, Aixa. Thanks for coming. Have a great night, and thank you to my helpers in this. Have a good evening and send me a message, and I will send you also the access to the recording if you miss something. Keep making the difference, keep shining, and let's keep helping each other. Have a wonderful night, and it was a pleasure to have you today. Take care.